Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and today we're going to go over several housing market crash maps. We're going to look at Realtor.com information. We're going to look at Zillow, Redfin. We're going to look at all kinds of information as it pertains to the housing market and where it's crashing as far as price crash the most. Now, where I'm going to start is actually going into a Fortune article and looking at Moody Analytics forecast in the housing market. So we're going to start with housing market crash maps that are forecasting what's going to happen in the future. And then we'll end by accessing the Redfin, Realtor, and Zillow crash maps as far as what's happening right now. Just remember though, I'm not a financial advisor, even though my bio is as a realtor, loan officer, and instructor in real estate, and someone that had a foreclosure, repo, and tax lien, and a repo. Volunteer repo. That volunteer repo, I haven't even told you what I was driving, but it definitely hurt. And for that pain, please guys, do me a favor and like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below, hit notifications. But either way, let's get started right now. And don't forget, I will have everything linked in my description. Now, the name of this article is Housing Market Analysts Are Divided. Zillow and Moody's issue starkly different home price forecast for the nation's 400 largest markets. Let me read a couple snippets of this article before we get started with the interactive maps. However, through the first few months of 2023, the housing correction has lost a great deal of steam as markets across South, Northeast, and Midwest once again begin to post month-over-month home price increases. As the housing market entered the new year, it got a boost from its seasonally strong spring period and from the slight affordability improvement from mortgage rates falling back under 6.5% and national home prices falling some late last year. That raises the question, is the home price bottom or simply a head fake? And as this says, it really depends who you ask. On one hand, Zillow economists expect home prices to rise from January to January of this year, 0.5%. Now, Moody Analytics actually expects a national decline of an additional 4.2%, and that's from December to December. And we already know that Zillow is pretty much, just my opinion, is kind of a joke. It's kind of complete garbage. I mean, we cannot count on them. We've learned that, and actually they've learned it, I hope, as well, because they bought a lot of homes based on the value of their Zestimate and ended up losing hundreds of millions of dollars. So starting with Zillow, this is a forecast map, all right? So this is from January 2023 to January 2024. And again, this is Zillow. This is a lot more conservative and a lot more lagging. Essentially, they expect most of the price decline to happen in, on the West Coast, specifically coastal West Coast areas, which I thought was about typical. And that's pretty much from the north to the south, starting at Bellingham, Washington at a loss of 0.2%. So not really big losses. Seattle at 0.9%. Again, this is from Zillow. Portland losing 2.3%. At least that's Zillow's forecast. And we can just go all the way down here and see, here's Santa Rosa at negative 3.8. We just go right down the coastline. San Jose, 3.5. San Luis Obispo, 3.1. Los Angeles, an additional 3.3. Riverside, 2.2. Here's San Diego at 0.8. Anchorage, 4.6. A lot more dark areas over here with Lake Charles at negative 7.2. So they're thinking Lake Charles is going to crash hard, continue to crash hard. Also, Alexandria, Monroe, a lot of places in Louisiana, they're expecting continued price crash. Look at Grand Forks as well. Some northern places up here, Bismarck. They are expecting the East Coast to get hit as well. So it's kind of refreshing to see they are expecting East Coast. But what's interesting is they are not expecting any of this area right here pretty much to go down. And that includes large portions of Florida. In fact, the only place they have in Florida going down is the Villages. I don't even know where that is, but the Villages going down. Everywhere else, essentially, they have going up or doing nothing in Florida. Really, really shocking to see that. It's probably really discouraging as well if you're from Florida or from Tennessee, North or South Carolina. So Not a lot of change here according to Zillow, but again, you guys, I wouldn't hold my breath because we have seen Zillow be wrong numerous times throughout 2022. Having said that, Zillow expects 238 markets to see positive home growth between January 2023 and January 2024, while it also expects 156 markets to have price decline. So Zillow expects only 39% of major markets to post a home price decline over the coming year. And they also go on to say many markets have already seen home prices bottom out. And my question is how do they know that? Do me a favor, really think about and ask yourself a question. What if they're wrong versus what if I'm wrong? What is the pros and what is the cons? And when you look at the pros and cons and you compare to what I'm saying and what they're saying, I really feel like when you kind of stand on this side of the street and take a more cautious, data-driven approach to the housing market, I just think that's a wise thing to do. Let me know if you agree. Comment below. Let me know if you agree, if you don't mind, but let's get back to this article. So now we're at the price crash map for Moody Analytics, and this is between Q4 of 2022 to Q4 of 2023. So this is this year. And really what I want to point out, right away and immediately is look at Florida, okay? Because I've been personally watching Florida. I understand Florida is a high migration state, but it is so unaffordable. I expect it to crash hard. Right? The fact that it hasn't yet is astonishing to me. But Moody Analytics does see pretty much the entire state of Florida crashing and actually outpacing what they think the national average of 4% will be. As you can see, Marco Island and Naples, they're expecting an additional loss this year of 8.8% in Naples. And if we go to Miami, negative 6.2%. So they're thinking, again, many parts in Florida will exceed the national average. Here's Deltona at negative 4.7. Okay, and then you go here's Houston, that's where I live, 5.3 loss. Austin, an additional 9.1%. San Antonio, an additional 4.8. Look at the West Coast. Big losses as well on the West Coast, as you can see, going all the way to the north. All these western coastal cities, pretty much from the top to the bottom, they're thinking it's going to experience some significant price decline. And this is significant. Again, I will have the links to all of this. All of the links do require a membership. I do have a membership to Fortune. I also have a membership to Snapforce. But look at here, you guys. Yuma, they're thinking is going to go down. Phoenix, another 5.9. I think Phoenix is going to get hit way harder than 5.9%. I don't know why other people don't think that, but Flagstaff going down 8.5. Again, I think Phoenix is going to outpace Flagstaff as well. Utah as well, they think is going to go down. Here's Boise. Boise, they're thinking is going to even get hit even harder this year at an additional loss of 10.5%. So really huge losses from Moody. At least that's what they're expecting. And again, you guys can come here yourself. Let's go over to the East Coast, see what's going on with the East Coast. Here's Boston. They're thinking Boston's going to go down 5.5%. And also, again, North Carolina, South Carolina. There's Raleigh. We just passed Raleigh. Where was that? Raleigh right here, negative 5.1%. So these are good signs for Moody Analytics. If you're like me, again, waiting for prices to reset, get more affordable, and really crash, this is what you want to see. You want to see forecasters start forecasting, stubborn areas just like this. Now, here's what Moody has to say. The company expects only 8 markets, again, only 8 markets to see a rise in home prices. They expect 395 markets to see price decline over the next 12 months. And Moody has been pretty, accurate so far, at least when you compare them to Redfin, Zillow, Realtor.com. So I would pay attention more to Moody, obviously, than I would Zillow. So now what I'll do is take you to an app called Snapforce. And Snapforce was made by someone named RJ Talks. He's a real estate analyst on YouTube. He's going to come on our show and do a collab and really talk to you guys, and I'm going to pick his brain. But I'm going to use his software called Snapforce. Again, just like Fortune, you do need a membership to access it. All of that stuff will be linked in my description if you want it on your own. And you guys don't have to spend money on, subscriptions. I do because I'm in the data all the time, so it makes sense for me. But either way, I'm going to access Snapforce right now and pay attention to what I'm about to show you. So here's Snapforce. And again, I'll have RJ come on here and really explain this to you guys. Let me show you guys real quick what reports you can review. I'm only going to review 3 maps with you guys. I'm going to review this first one, and I like this one. This is the Redfin map. So this is Redfin median sales price. this is really, really good. It's really hard to program Redfin data on these interactive maps. So we're going to go over Redfin, and then we're going to go over Realtor.com, and then I'm going to go over the PE ratio map. So price to earnings ratio map, but I'm going to start here with the Redfin median sales price and inventory map. This map is a lot more detailed to Fortune. Obviously, the data is pulled from Redfin. Redfin is showing sharper declines. And if we start here, I mean, you can see pretty much the entire West Coast significant price declines. I mean, here's Santa Rosa at an 8% decline. Now, what else? The other thing I like about this is that once I click the county or click the metro, I can actually see how much house prices have gone up since 2017, 2018, and 2019 to really kind of see, how much more does this area from peak to trough need to go to hit 2019 values. So for me, again, that's why I really like this software. It is handy. So let's take a look over here. Here's Boise. Boise, y'all, is down 16.98%. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. If we go down here, we can see since 2017, home prices have basically doubled in Boise. Isn't that shocking to y'all? So they have actually doubled in Boise. Really, really love this map. Here's Phoenix. Phoenix is down 12%. But there's also areas that are up if you hover over the green. A lot of these places I've never heard of. Here's Austin right here. Austin's down almost 18%. And this is not off of March numbers. Obviously, it takes time for Redfin to update, but this is just till February. So as of February, y'all, Austin's down 17.94%. Absolutely astonishing. When I really focus here on Florida, we are seeing Florida does have median sales price decline, not large declines like is needed because of the run up. But if we kind of just hover over here, let me go and show y'all Miami. So Miami is down peak to trough 4.88%. But when we scroll down here, we can see that prices are up from 2019, 54%. And that is a lot. So again, this map, if you guys use Redfin, you're going to see that Redfin is a lot more up to date, in my opinion. They really show the price crashes around the United States. And this is happening all over the place. So really, really sharp declines. Some places it's saying 37% decline. So massive, massive declines. If you guys want to review this a little bit later, go for it. But let's go on and let's look at Realtor.com and compare right now. So here's the Realtor.com average price reduction. Now this is by county versus the other one was a lot larger metro areas. So if you guys want to go to county, you can see this. The counties that are in dark red are going to have that. This one says 43% decline. Again, going over here to Texas, this says 30% decline. This is in Duval, Texas. I don't even know where that is. But now that I have this information, I might do more research and ask, why are house prices down essentially 30%, right? That's what I would ask myself. We can also see other areas are up 32% from peak to trough, like White Pine, Nevada. Really interesting stuff here. North Slope, Alaska as well, 51%. I mean, there's some really, really strong numbers here. This is really, really fun to play with. If you want to do research on the United States or really kind of dig into your individual state, you can see that, for example, I can zoom into a state like my local state here in Texas, and I can get the county information. Do y'all see that? So really, really helpful if you want more information on the price crashing as far as more up-to-date information. Again, this is June versus March. So peak to trough, this is the most updated one versus Redfin. So, really, really updated information here. I really like this, but let me show you guys the PE ratio map. So here's the price to earnings map. This is one of my favorite maps because I believe one of the catalysts to price decline is going to be on affordability, not just, overexposed new home builders, unemployment, foreclosures, all of that stuff matters, but also what really, really matters other than migration. Migration matters a lot, but it's unaffordability. So price to earning ratio really kind of shows you things to come. I mean, if you're going to price out half the natives, it's just not going to work. Let me show you how bad it is in Los Angeles. So if we look at Los Angeles is at 11.46 median household income, $75,000. But yet the median sales price is $866,000. So it takes like 4 families to afford a house in Los Angeles. But essentially what it means is it's going to take 11.46 years of their income to pay for the house. That is outrageous. outrageous. So 11.46 years. Basically, people can't even afford to live in Los Angeles. And if we zoom in here and really focus on Florida, and this is why I think, Florida is going to crash. It's just going to take time. I mean, the PE ratios are off the charts as well. Not as bad as California, obviously. But, Lafayette, it's at 6.73. So very, very unaffordable for locals there. Hamilton is at 5.65. Let's go on over to Miami. Miami is all the way up to 9.41. So Miami is through the roof. And what's interesting, y'all, is it was only at 6 in 2019. In fact, it was only at 6.3 at 2021. So you could really see how the unaffordability has skyrocketed. And here's Naples. Look at how bad Naples is, y'all. Naples is at 11.27. Naples is like, you can't afford to live there. If you're a native, that's really, really sad. In 2020, it was only at 6.5, so almost a double up. It wasn't a double up, but almost a double up in just 3 years. Do y'all understand that just for the simple fact that house price growth has broken fundamentals and is ungrounded to fundamentals like income, that alone should continue to crash prices. But very, very interesting. So if you want to really dig into your state and the county that it's in and to really see how unaffordable things are, dig in here. Now you can see when I hover over Houston, Houston's only at 5.25. I think that's why Houston was the #2 migrated city in the US, because it's still relatively affordable. Home prices are still super high, but comparatively, it's not too bad, right? But look at the median household income, $61,000. So it's what, $20,000 less than Los Angeles, but the median sales price is 1/3. Do y'all see? Really, really helpful tool if you guys want to dig in a little bit more. So in conclusion, we know that we can't necessarily lean on realtors or investors because a lot of them have bias intentions and motivations. So what we should be doing, in my opinion anyways, we should let the data guide our thinking and guide our conclusions. And we should be okay with changing our conclusion based on the data. And we shouldn't be ashamed on that because there's so much dust in the air right now. The more data that we have, the better off we can be. Now, other than that, y'all, I really hope that you guys got some new value, insights, and perspective from today's video. I hope you like these interactive maps. And other than that, if you're out there investing in real estate, I wish you luck and I hope you win.